Jimmy Carter has died and he has a family. So it's difficult to say about somebody who's just died that you don't think much of their legacy. However, it has to be said in this case, if there's any relative of Jimmy Carter who might be accessing this, perhaps you should wait a few weeks before you watch this video, because I suppose it will be upsetting for you. So this video is going to be partly about Jimmy Carter and partly about the complete disaster he made of Iran and how hundreds of thousands of people in Iran, perhaps millions, and also in Iraq, died because of Carter's incompetence. And millions are now living in misery and ignorance also because of his hubristic attitude to nation building. That's the first point. The second is that I'm monetizing this video, but I don't expect any profit from it. You see, the YouTube monetization system works in the following way. If you use songs that are the property of somebody else, unless they're from the YouTube copyright-free library or personal recordings, that sort of thing, any income generated from advertising goes to the owner of the copyright of the performance, whatever it is, not to the maker of the video, in this case, me. I'm going to show you a performance by an Iranian singer. I'm not going to show it all. Her name is Parastoo Ahmadi, and she and the musicians who were accompanying her on this performance, they were all arrested last week. And for that reason, I have no objection at all to any revenue going to them if YouTube deems it so. Of course, I'm not going to show all of the performance. It was 30 minutes long. I'm just going to show enough to trigger a copyright issue. If you're interested in the whole thing, I'll leave a link in the description and you can watch it at source. I do urge you to watch it, or at least put it on while you're doing something else, and that will give Miss Ahmadi and her colleagues the clicks and the exposure they need. Okay, I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. So, to start with, what has Miss Ahmadi been arrested for? Well, she's been arrested for not wearing a hijab. Okay, let's start some of the performance. Right, that should be enough to trigger a copyright issue with YouTube, and I have no objection. What she's doing there has a penalty of 10 years in prison. Her musicians, just a minute, I want to turn the sound down a little more. Yeah, her musicians, I suppose, were arrested, I suppose, for assisting the lady in this terrible crime. And the crime is let's go back to screen 1. It says here, YouTube singer arrested in Iran after performing an online concert while not wearing a hijab. Recently, the laws in Iran were changed from a simple beating from the morality police to 10 years in jail. And we all know that when a woman is confined in jail in most Muslim countries, and in Iran too, it's not just a matter of imprisonment that they have to worry about. Now, let's get back to Miss Ahmadi. Let me tell you about how all this happened. The Ayatollah Khomeini, of whom you've probably heard, came to power in 1979 together with his ideas of creating a strict Shia Muslim state. This was facilitated by Jimmy Carter's administration in the USA, who withdrew support from the Shah when Carter had the completely mad idea that the Ayatollah would be more controllable. By the way, this course of action was also followed by the Shah's other main supporter, the United Kingdom, at the time under the governance of yet another incompetent Labour government led by Prime Minister James Callaghan, who, well, like David Idiot Lammy has been trying to do with the Chagos Islands. You probably heard Lammy's been trying to give the Chagos Islands to another island, Mauritius, that never had any control over them in the first place. That's a side issue. Anyway, just like him, Callaghan and his government were overjoyed to divest Britain of all the trappings of the old empire. It was a perfect storm. Carter was a provincial one-term governor with no foreign policy experience at all, whose head was filled with a lot of woke stuff about human rights. And, well, it sounds harsh, but sometimes politics shouldn't be about human rights. It should be about choosing the least damaging of two evils. Instead, when Carter took control, he said he'd make human rights a key part of American foreign policy. And the Shah was running a somewhat overbearing dictatorship at the time. And so when choosing sides, Carter opted for the Ayatollah's lot, probably on the grounds that a lot of the Iranian left was also on that side. And to the politically illiterate, it seemed like a simple Star Wars fight between the evil empire and the glorious revolutionaries. Hang on a minute, I'm going to put Miss Ahmadi up again just for a bit more copyright stuff. Sound up. What a group of admirable, brave, reckless people, creative people, who are doing a creative thing. I don't know when they'll ever get out of jail now, whether any of them will see the light of day, whether any of them will live beyond the rest of the year. I believe that this year the Iranian government managed to legally execute, that is publicly execute, about 800 people, something like that. Every year, hundreds of people are hanged in town squares. And we've got idiots parading around in American universities talking about being triggered. Anyway, some more. What a beautiful woman she is. Not sure how beautiful she'll be when the morality police have finished with her. Anyway, the Shah was finally allowed into the USA after he was forced out of Iran. He was allowed into the USA for medical treatment, and the Iranian government took full advantage of that. Oh, they said they were enraged. They would have done it anyway. But they said they were enraged by that, and they took the entire staff of the American embassy hostage. They would have, as I said, they would have done it anyway, because actually hostage taking seems to be a Muslim go-to. You know, always go for the weak, the undefended, whatever. Anyway, Carter then launched a totally ridiculous, cack-handed mission to rescue the hostages. It failed spectacularly, and the American government paid a humiliatingly large ransom to get their people back, which of course enabled Iran both financially and politically to behave badly, and even more badly and far more tyrannically than anything the Shah ever did. Look at this woman here. 10 years in jail she's got, or she will get, if she's, well, I don't know whether you could call it lucky, or if they don't just do away with her for doing this. Right, well, that is Jimmy Carter's legacy. And I'm sorry, but apart from all the other mess-ups that Carter did, this is the thing that strikes me most strongly. It's sad when any human being dies, but some human beings leave more of a bad taste than others. All right, I'll get rid of my picture here, and we'll have just a little bit more of Miss Ahmadi. And with any luck, this will go into their coffers.
تو را خدا نگهدار که می روم به سوی سرنوشت بهار ما گذشته گذشته ها گذشته منم به جستجوی سرنوشت.
Okay, well, yeah, Jimmy Carter's legacy. Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.